What's up? What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a great night, great day, depending on where you're at in the world or when you're watching this video. Guys, we've got to talk about Uniswap today. Uniswap was served with a Wells notice from the SEC, guys. A Wells notice is an intent to sue or intent to come to resolution, and then usually states why you're being charged with what you're being charged with, or going to be charged with what you're going to be charged with, in hopes of coming to a resolution, guys. But what we know about crypto and prior Wells notices from Coinbase and Binance and a couple other characters, XRP, them guys like that, the SEC does not put a resolution into the Wells notice because they're really not looking for a resolution. They're really looking to take you to court, and that's what they intend to do here with Uniswap, guys. So Uniswap was served with this Wells notice today, basically saying, that you're running a, what's the easiest way to put it is just a wild west, and nobody knows what's going on in cryptocurrency, and we can't do this, and you're out of regulations, you're out of trading regulations here in the United States. But keep in mind, guys, Uniswap was built here in the United States. I believe that it was actually built here in New York City, is where the company actually started to build Uniswap, guys. So they are a United States company. So this does take that out of the equation, much like XRP was a United States company. So isn't Uniswap. So, the SEC does have some regulatory guidance over what goes on with Uniswap, given the fact that they were a hit company here in the United States. That being said, guys, well, here we go again, right? Another long drawn out case on cryptocurrency, headed up by Dirty Gary and his cronies over there at the SEC, guys. So that's what we have going on right now, is a Wells notice served to Uniswap in regards of the intent to sue, right? That's basically what a Wells notice is an intent to sue. So what do we also know about the SEC in these cases? The XRP case, long drawn out, right? Coinbase case, long drawn out. Binance case, long drawn out. Expect the same here from Uniswap, guys. A long drawn out case. That's where this is headed. That's where this is going to go, right? But what is the SEC's intent and purpose behind suing Uniswap? Why do this, right? This is the SEC's attempt to start to regulate DeFi as a whole, right? Cut the head off the dragon. Uniswap's the biggest player in the game. We go after them. We can now regulate most of the DeFi space. Because if they win this case, the SEC wins this case, then all other DeFi, decentralized swaps, would have to go under the regulations in which the judge set forth at the end of the case, blah, blah, blah. I don't think they're going to win, right? I don't think that the SEC is going to win this case, but we're going to get into some challenges that Uniswap's going to have, right? Let's talk about some of the challenges that Uniswap's going to have when they go in front of the judge. Go look at the live new pairs. Most of them are rug pulls, right? When you list on Uniswap, no KYC. You don't know who's behind a lot of this stuff, right? A lot of rug pulls, no KYC. Anybody can launch a token on Uniswap. There's no checks and balances there. These are the challenges that Uniswap's going to have to face in court. And then you have to understand that the majority of the judges out here in the United States, they don't understand crypto, they don't understand DeFi, they don't understand how it operates. So when you put a case like that in front of a judge that says, hey, these guys are just out here allowing anybody to list, they're doing anything, there's no KYC, we don't know who's behind this stuff, 50 to 90% of everything that's launching on a daily basis, is taking people's money. That doesn't sound good to a judge, right? But who did that? The DeFi space did that. That's some crappy ass devs out there that did that, and now actually has put Uniswap in a bad situation, right? All these rug pull devs have put Uniswap in a bad situation for their malicious intent, right? But Uniswap will fight off all that. They'll get through all that, and then they will end up probably winning this case, given the fact that there's no clear regulations on DeFi, right? And Gary and the SEC cannot make regulations that has to go through the Senate and House and all that. And they haven't done that yet, right? They haven't done that yet. So that's kind of where we're at. It's going to be an interesting battle. It's going to be an interesting battle of how this thing plays out. Let's go ahead and look at what the actual founder of Uniswap had to say. He has an interesting take on this. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up here, and then we're going to go through it. Okay, so here we are. I pulled up the Uniswap Twitter page, got on the blog, started to read over what Hayden, who is the CEO of Uniswap, how he reacted to this, what he had to say, things like that. And there's a blog post of a bunch of things, whole laid out argument for them. But this was an interesting piece here that I think lays the groundwork for everything else. It says take into account the SEC's ongoing lawsuit against Coinbase and others, as well as their complete unwillingness to provide clarity or a path to registration. The SEC has yet to provide a lot of these cryptocurrencies. This is Coinbase's issue. This was Binance's issue. This was KuCoin's issue. There's no clear path for these centralized exchanges to register as a security. Now you're going after one of the biggest decentralized swaps, who is also saying there's just no clear path for us. Even though we want to do the right thing, even though we're more than willing to do the right thing, there is just no clear path for us to do so. You have not provided that. That's going to be an interesting argument in court, and that's one of the reasons why I think Uniswap's going to win this case. The same reason why Coinbase is winning their case is that there is just no clear regulations. There's just no clear path for these guys. So this is going to be interesting, So I think that this is Uniswap's argument. This is how they're going to win this argument, is the fact that there's no clear regulations, no clear guidelines for these, right? And he goes on to say, to those operating lawfully, right, which Uniswap's a United States company, they try to do things, whether you agree or disagree with how they launch tokens, they still United States company. And you can't say that they didn't try to do things lawfully when there's no clear path, right? It says within the U.S., right? So he goes on to basically say what I said. He says we can only conclude that this is the latest political attack to political effort to target blockchain, right? To target blockchain as a whole, right? So now you start to get into some of Uniswap's arguments about this being a political attack, like attack on crypto, attack on blockchain, right? So, Hayden puts out a good argument there, that the same argument that Coinbase used, the same argument that Binance used, Coinbase and also XRP, right? One of the same arguments that XRP used. XRP crushed the SEC, right? Coinbase is killing the SEC in court right now. Binance paid a big fine. They did what they did. They basically shut down Binance US. Call it what you want. Yes, it's still up and running, man, but that thing is gone. That thing's as good as gone, man. You can't do anything on there. So, basically Coinbase and XRP and Binance are all using the same argument, that there's just no clear path for us. Like, we try to do the right thing. We can't do the right thing because you won't tell us what the right thing is. Hawkins just came out and said the same thing from Cardano. This is the marching order for DeFi crypto right now, is that there's no clear path, right? And it's also the marching order for centralized exchanges. But why is it Uniswap case so important? Because Uniswap is the first decentralized application that these guys are targeting. Why are they targeting Uniswap as a decentralized? Because it's the biggest. And if they can get Uniswap, they can get everything else. So think about, if the SEC wins against Uniswap, how that's going to affect a lot of the other swaps out there, right? a lot of the other decentralized swaps. You name the decentralized swap, if they're operating in the United States, if the SEC wins, they're going to have to fall under the same regulations. This is not good for DeFi, guys. This is just not good for DeFi if the SEC wins. But that being said, I don't think that the SEC will win. But if the SEC does win, let me tell you why they'll win. They will win because of the amount of rug pulls, the amount of scams that are on the decentralized exchanges. And who do we have to blame for that? The devs that are launching them. So start holding them accountable, because without them, this case doesn't happen. So understand that. Understand that as well. So with that, guys, we're going to stay on top of the Uniswap thing. Wells notice today. We're going to stay on top of this. This is going to be a long fight, man. This is going to be a long, drawn-out court fight. This is going to be a court battle. I just hope that Uniswap's got the dollars to fight the SEC. Coinbase did. They're winning. XRP does have the dollars. They won. See if Uniswap's got the dollars, because the government's got unlimited funds. But Uniswap does $14 million a day in transactions, so they should have the dollars to go ahead and fight this out legally, guys. So with that, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and smash that share button. If you like this top content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, baby. Let's get after it. We're going to stay on top of this one. And until the next one, you guys have a phenomenal day.